Okay, welcome to the Long Group Podcast. I'm back here with Clayton.
Yes, sir.
I'm Travis. If you're new to the podcast, this is
You're gonna say it. Say it. We were thinking the same thing.
you say it,
This is episode 3.
episode 3. We're excited to kick things off. I'm gonna talk about our week training a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So so we're out here in Cedar City, Utah, training and working and doing living, of course. And yesterday, we were hit with a smoke bomb.
Oh my goodness, it was bad. Yep.
Utah is on fire. I believe there's 6 active wildfires in Utah right now.
And they're huge. And what's the closest one to us is probably 50 miles or maybe a little bit closer. But when that wind blows, I mean, it was snowing ash yesterday. It was tough. It was not good breathing.
Yeah, so Clayton and I had a workout together scheduled and, in the evening, and I really wanted to do it on the track, but we ended up having to retreat indoors to the treadmill, and we had to suffer through that. I had to suffer through that, so
You look good. You got on that woodway and you were ripping those 400s. Luckily I had 200s. It was still pretty hard. Um, I had the treadmill. I'd set it at 6 miles an hour, and then I'd click to 12. So I wasn't going crazy fast really. I was going pretty slow, but I would just click for 200 meters and then click 200, click 200. It's kind of fun.
changing the pace on a treadmill is kinda brutal. I just stepped
Brutal.
off during my rest.
I was watching that. I thought about it, but I was afraid I wouldn't be able to like jump back into the right speed. Um, but I do think it was the right call. I was being a little bit of a sissy. I didn't wanna run in that smoke. When we had first started, the air quality was still fair, and then it got moderate. But by the time, I don't know if you saw it while we were on the treadmills, but it had went well above 100, 150 or something. I looked. It was
Oh,
up,
dang.
yeah, it was like 162, and it said unhealthy for some populations or something like that.
Yeah, it got up to, at least a questionable range, even though we already knew it was questionable. We could smell it in the air. We could feel it in your eyes. I was already having a headache just, from the 5 minutes we stood outside, and so but what's crazy, I woke up this morning from my run, and it was a beautiful morning, no smoke. The air quality, I believe, was in the 40s, so, closer to normal. I'm not perfect, but, um,
But it's been beautiful today.
beautiful day here in
They
Cedar
expect
City.
rain.
But that beaver fire, super sad,
Yeah.
burning down a ski resort, burning down cabins,
Thousands, the
so
mountain going. So thoughts and prayers with those affected. Never fun, but it's crazy how much of Utah's burning right now. It's wild. Sheesh.
yeah, it makes me sad, and I heard that it was man-caused, or the a human started the fire, so it wasn't natural, so
Dang it. Somebody messed up. Ah,
they're gonna
shucks.
be fined millions.
Yeah. Yeah, because they can trace those. They can find them out pretty dang good nowadays. Um, yeah, not fun at all. Interesting day for us. Rest of your week been good though? You're gonna be hitting some good mileage this week?
Oh, yeah, I'm back in full training. I'm excited about that. Just getting ready for the bigger races in the coming up in the fall, but and end of summer. But I have some, like I mentioned, coming up. So I'm starting to get ready, starting to feel fit. But hopefully I can really see the progress the next couple weeks.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I'm little bit behind on your mileage, but getting up to high for me, which would be great. So we're getting fit, listeners. We're starting to stack some weeks. So watch out. Watch out for this guy. He's on a tear right now. Speaking of guys on a tear right now, want to cover some results over the weekend for some of our buddies?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh, I'm thinking what you're thinking. Gary Bjorklund half marathon?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Hayden Reed
Wow.
sponsored this man, like we've said before.
Please, somebody. Oh man, he's amazing.
Posted up impressive half marathon at the grandma's marathon, half marathon. Um,
Yeah, I
his
wanna get
official result,
yeah,
Clayton's pulling up real quick,
I
but
wanna
it
get
was,
everything right.
I believe, 61:20 something. Super impressive. Second place finish behind Acer Iverson, who was a stud in the NCAA, ran for Harvard, and then transferred to UW as a graduate student.
Great runner.
Great runner.
Yep.
But Aiden beat some bigger names such as Joe Klecker and even a bigger name like Joel Reichow. I think that's how you say his last name. And
Yep.
man, Aiden doesn't even have a shoe sponsor at this moment. So he deserves one for sure. And he can tear up that distance.
Yep, just like you said, he went 61:26, 30 seconds ahead of Joe Klecker. A big props to that Roots running group in Boulder, Colorado. Aiden runs for them. He was second, and in fourth place, Frank Lara also runs for them. So 2 top 4 performances in a stacked race.
But Frank has a shoe contract.
He does. Ultra?
Ultra, I believe. Yeah.
Which is cool. So anyone, reach out to Aiden Reed, guys. He's incredible. Great runner, great guy.
Unfortunately, our buddy Santiago, he was also in the race and he was grouped among the top guys with his St. George marathon half marathon PR, the downhill course. He was ranked among the top group as a Canadian, but suffered with a side stitch and wasn't able to finish the race. It's just something that he's been facing the last, honestly, 6 to 9 months. But we haven't been able to help him figure it out, and it comes and goes depending on the race. So he's been struggling with that.
Yeah. Hoping he can learn how to navigate it. He'll be back, I guess, next week. Yeah, next week.
Yeah, he said he's coming back
Back in
Monday.
Utah with us, home from his home country, Canada. So we're excited to see him again and support him through these kind of challenges. But we know how fit he is, and we know he's performed in the past and he'll perform again. So we're excited for
Absolutely.
him to come back from that one day soon. Awesome. See, did anybody else we know have a pretty good race this weekend?
I'm gonna give a shout out to Garrison Schindler,
Hmm.
who is currently living and training in Cedar City. He ran for SVU. He was our teammate for a short time, and he ran up at the Portland Track Festival, a great track meet for the running community, for people chasing a good track meet. He went out and ran a personal best in the 800 meters. So shout out Garrison. Super impressive result, honestly, because he took extensive amount of time off and has really just barely gotten back into it.
Yeah, for a personal best season opener for the 800, 149 low. He's currently in the transfer portal, so we're excited to see where he'll end up for his last couple seasons of eligibility. But we're enjoying our time training with him right now and stoked for him. Talking with him after the race, he said he's got more in there. So I'm excited to see him chip away at that, and he's an elite talent for sure. So good job, Garrison. Shout her out.
Shout out lady. She's barking at the strangers across the street walking. Anyway, Garrison, that was an impressive run. Honestly, just a few weeks of training, getting that mark out after some health issues. I was very impressed and excited to see what you can do in the near future. We're cheering for you. I know hopefully you're listening.
Yeah, he's listened to the first episode, right? No, he's great. Thanks, Garrison, for running with us, and we're excited for you. Other 800s have been pretty interesting around the world. Um, one of note I wanted to just kind of talk about and fill your thoughts on, but we know Femke Broders Bull, I think is how you say her new married name is Broders. But Femke Broders Bull, she is now 3 800s into her 800-meter experiment year where she's stepped away from the 400 hurdles. went all in on the 800. Um, she debuted indoor at 159, and now kind of over the last 2 or 3 weeks, she's had 2 performances, a 157 where she placed 2nd and a 157 where she won her race. Thoughts?
Femke Bol, my favorite runner.
You are a big fan, absolutely. Maybe one day we'll show everyone the great picture of, we were in Boston, and she was out front of the New Balance store on a poster, and this guy's cheesing like he caught a big fish or something fishing, so
Yeah, I guess it's a running joke that Femke Bol is, my favorite runner, but I am a fan of her ever since she was running the hurdles, when she got 3rd behind Sydney Dalila Muhammad, and then it was her, and they all just crushed at the Olympics. I became a big fan of her. I was impressed by it.
yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. It's cool to see her facing a new challenge in the 800 meters. What do you think she's capable of
I
this season
I'm
or in her career?
Yeah, I'm really high on her 800-meter stock. I think to come out and to put together, I think she's had 3 800s brand new to it, and each one has been a massive success for the progress she's making. So we're looking at a woman who we know is wildly talented, very quick. She's now figured out how to win 800s at a 157. Um, by the end of the year, there's no reason she can't be running 155. And running 155 and having that wheelhouse in you puts you well within a final, a world final. That puts you contending for a medal. And for her to be in her first season in the 800, we're already talking about she has a chance to medal. This is a huge success. And there's a world where she's 154 or faster within a year or two, which is insane. So I think her ceiling's high, and this is a success so far.
I do agree. That is a success. She's still early in her 800-meter career. But do you think I question if she has the chops to medal in the next few years. And if she does not medal, is it a failure? Or
Ooh.
or like in her mind, is it a failure of from switching events from because she is a 2-time world champion, a gold medalist in the 400-meter hurdles. I believe in 2025 and 2023. And in her mind, do you think it's a failure unless she medals at the like she's running? It's impressive what she's doing,
Right,
but like
right.
in her mind, she's such an elite
Yeah.
athlete. Like, was where does she draw the line as for success or failure?
Because I can because I can imagine with that competitive kind of spirit she's got, she absolutely that's the goal. Has to be medaling. So I referenced making a final as a potential, like, goal or, like, a benchmark. I think this year, if she fails to make a like, if she does the 800 at the World Ultimate Championships and she does not make the final, I think that is a failure. But I also already think it's a success, even if she stopped today.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt for her first season,
Yeah,
just because
that's fair.
she is already performing well. Like
So
maybe if she was underperforming at this current stage, then yeah. But
okay.
um, but like next year when there's the World Championships
Okay.
or the Olympic year,
I think if she sticks with the 800, if she has run 155 and in 2027 does not medal, she will view that as a failure. But to me, there's an absolute success there.
yeah. I really want to dig into her training. I wish I knew better. Um, how it has switched up because she was very dominant in the 400
Right.
and the 400 hurdles. She was very not dominant in the 400, but very talented, anchoring those Dutch teams.
Oh, incredible. Yeah, incredible 4x4s. Those are some exciting ones. That Dutch women's 4x4 team is phenomenal.
Yeah, so I think
But
her
yeah.
goal is still to be a part of that 4x4 team. So I really wonder, um, is she running mileage? She putting in those 30-mile weeks, or is it like 10 to 15-mile weeks for her to adjust to that distance type of training? or is she full sending 30-mile weeks as an 800 runner, or even more? Who knows? Like I've seen her posts, um, and sometimes it looks like she's on dirt roads
Right.
running, but who knows? That might just be for the aesthetic.
Sure. Femke, if you're listening, let us know what your training is. We'd love to hear, or if there's someone that knows where we can access it, let us know. We would love to see that.
Yes, shout out Femke Bull.
Great runs.
Impressive running so far. We hope you reach your goals in the 800 meters. I am a fan. The women's 800 meters at the world stage is a great time to be a competitor. So
Yeah, great time to be a fan. It's electric. Speaking of people we're fans of, let's bring it back from the world stage. Let's bring it back home to the state of Utah. I want to recognize two individuals. The first being the high school stud and star this year out of Harriman, Utah, Jackson Spencer. Congrats on just so far an incredible year. Great records, great runs, so many good wins and victories. And I'm excited to see just how fast you can go. And it looks like he was announced today as in the B field for the mile at the pre classic in July with a great field. Um, Fresh mile in a fast field. Last year, I think, was it Ethan Strand won the B mile in 3:48 or 3:49? How fast can Jackson Spencer go right at the tail end of his high school career in a fresh, fast-paced professional mile?
3:58.
Yeah, no faster than what he's kinda currently done?
I think he might die a little bit. Like it might pull him, but he also could die a little bit and pull out a 3:58.
Sh
Hang on to the sub 4.
Sure.
But that's my vibe. Maybe a 3:57. It's just hard to compete at that professional level. I don't know. He's a great athlete, but
But he has been going for so long, and a lot of people said, shut it down," but I think he's planning on shutting it down for 2 years and serving an LDS mission, so I think he's gonna run all the way through till he takes that forced break. Um, yeah, I'd love to see him attack that 3:53 high school record.
he's not gonna do it.
I feel like it's a stretch. If he does, more power to him, but I do feel like it's a stretch just where he's at right now, in this season. Not to say Doug Souls can't cook something up, get him there in the next couple of weeks, um, which I wonder if Doug is still coaching him actually, because Doug Souls just announced his retirement. Well, he didn't say retirement, but he said he's stepping away from coaching. Um, so essentially a retirement, but he didn't say those words. But so I wonder if he's still coaching him.
That'd be crazy if he wasn't to
Right?
finish out his
Finish out the last
summer.
month. Yeah.
Like,
I'm
I would be shocked.
I'm sure he is, but but maybe he actually worded as Doug Souls is not returning in the fall to continue on with the program, which is why I want to give recognition for both of us. While we were in high school, he was coaching those amazing Great Oaks teams, and those Great Oak teams in California. They had, I mean, just some phenomenal female athletes. Those incredibly deep men's teams. Um, Back in the day when running under 410 was really, really significant, he was having 3, 4 guys every year, it felt like, um, running well under 410 as high schoolers. Um, Always a controversial topic of did they all peak in high school? But honestly, what's wrong with a coach bringing the best out of an athlete when he has them, kind of in their tutelage? What are your thoughts? And also share what you want about Doug.
yeah, you said you were a fan. I don't know if I'm gonna say a fan
Okay.
because in high school, actually would say I had a not we weren't rivals, but we had a my high school in Great Oak had a good, runoff
Oh,
together.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I that competitive energy has carried through until to now. So, Doug Souls, you're still,
A legend.
we still you're a legend, absolutely, but we still beat you.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, talk about that. Let's just reminisce for a second. Tell
Oh,
us about what the
reminisce.
race was
There was a
and what
4
happened.
by mile at New Balance Nationals. It was my junior year. We put together a team. We were going for the 4 by mile, so each runner runs a full mile. We were going for the record. We got it by 2 seconds. Our and we actually handed I was the 3rd leg, handed it off to Alec Parsons, who was a senior and, uh, a very good runner himself. He had
Incredible.
placed 3rd at NXN that year, and then he actually had an injury during the winter time, but, by this time, he was back fit. He split a 4:10, but Isaac Cortez, who got the baton in 2nd place, Great Oak was in 2nd place at the time, close, I believe, in a 4:04,
Wow.
or it could have been a 4:05. I don't remember the exact
Still.
details, but, he was closing on Alec the last 100, phenomenal kick, and Alec was able to outlean him, and we beat them by, like, a millisecond or something.
Oh, that's awesome. 4 by mile national records,
Hit the national record. Since then, I know it has been broken, but
possibly by a Doug Souls Harriman team.
possibly,
As he might have, because he moved to Utah shortly
but
after.
wow, like,
That's cool.
Great Oak was always able to put together a crazy team, um,
Yeah.
as well, but and then he moved the success to Harriman. Crazy that he was able to produce national championships at Harriman as well as, the success he had at Great Oak. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Doug Souls. Like, it is very impressive what he did at a high school level.
Yeah.
I know a lot of his athletes love him, revere him, but yes, it is funny. So those same athletes that I was racing against in the 4 by mile, those are those are the ones that people call out as having a bust college careers
Yeah, they
because
perform.
but
It's tough comparing him to your teammate, like Alec Parsons, who was how many a times All-American at Stanford in
at
college?
least twice,
Right,
yeah.
and cross.
And cross, yeah. Eh, ended up running Isaac Cortez and Alec Parsons became teammates actually at
That's
Stanford
fun.
University.
That's
So,
really fun.
but yes, Alec seemed to have the better career at Stanford, and,
That's fair.
um, I remember the other 2, I think Spencer Dodds, I think
Mm.
he went to Texas, and then there's a Cole, I don't know, all 3 of them were, s sub 9 guys, in high school, but, yeah, they just didn't seem to have the best college career, but I remember seeing Doug Souls', comment about this. Everyone questioned him. It was like,
Yeah.
why do you ruin the athletes?" And he basically was like, "I'm getting the best out of them, but I don't coach them in college. They move on, and it's the college coach that ruins them. It's not me." Like, at it like,
That's
it's up
fair.
it's not my responsibility after, um
He does what he can with them there, and then
yeah,
who's
they
to say
left
they
him.
yeah, who's to say they wouldn't continue improving if they stayed with him through those development years of 18 to 24? Huh. Good for him standing that ground. I've always thought he's, impressive with what he's been able to produce. So, enjoy your retirement or break or whatever it is, Doug Swoles. You definitely left an impact on the game. So thanks for that.
Okay, one more thing.
Yeah.
Is is he the GOAT for high school college coaching?
Oh, man, because he was producing teams that were nearly Brosnan level, Newbury Park level, way before Super Shoes, and he wasn't having it be 2 sets of brothers. You know what I mean?
It wasn't 2
It
families. It
wasn't
wasn't
2
the
families
transferred
combined
kids
together.
coming to the school.
You know, if
It
you look at
was
purely high school,
and it was, decades long
decades. The only person I would argue is the Fayetteville Manly's
or a
coach out of New
decade.
York. But
That's fair.
but even then, I don't know. Doug Souls might make a strong case for the best high school coach. I don't know, I really liked my high school coach. No, it's, Doug Souls makes a good case for it.
As far as success-wise, he might be, for the men, the for men, might
Might
have
take the
the
cake.
most Longest career of success.
Yep.
String of success.
Duplicated at 2 schools. You can't beat that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. We talked about Jackson Spencer's potential in the mile, and we've talked about Doug Souls, the GOAT of high school boys coaching. I'm actually trying to think how many sub-4 high schoolers he's actually had, but regardless of that fact and that number, let's talk about the sub-4 mile for high school boys. We're looking at every year, it seems like it's 3 or 4 kids now. When we were in high school, Grant was like it was like Grant Fisher, and then our year was Reed Brown, and he was like well, there's some in between. Excuse me.
Michael Slagowski.
Michael Slagowski, sorry about that.
Mhm.
But don't forget Drew Hunter in there. There were a few, but our senior year was Reed Brown, um, and he was like the 10th or something. And now we have 3 or 4 every year.
How many have done it this year?
I think we're at either 3 or 4. Let's look that up. Wow, you tell me.
I thought there was only 2 this year.
Te
I feel like
okay.
this year was sort of a down year because Theodora was doing that thing.
And nobody was
No
hitting it,
one's
that's
done
true.
it in Theodora's shoes. I don't know. Jackson Spencer, I'm pretty sure did it in New Balance or something.
Yeah, he's done it. The Burns kid has done it. There's a kid I think named Drew that's done it. So that's 3 I'm thinking of. Let me look at the full list.
Anyway, yeah, I this year seems more underwhelming as far as the high school runners, but regardless, having 2, maybe 3 break it in 1 year is mad impressive.
Oh, wow.
Mad impressive compared to
This shows 5.
5. Okay.
Jackson Spencer, Philip Kupiel, Carter Smith, Brian Burns, Dylan Rao. Oh my goodness. Right away,
Yeah, well,
5.
somehow 5 is underwhelming nowadays.
So let's talk about it. Has it lost its spark? Is it still significant, or is there a better? Oh, and there was 1 indoor, so 6. 359. Shout out Noah Bontrager. So 6 this year. Has it lost its sparkle?
Apparently,
Is it still a standard worth shooting for?
absolutely.
I
Absolutely a standard worth shooting for. Has it lost its magic? I mean, apparently, because there's been 6 this year. Um, no, I think it has to always be a marker for men and boys and to aim for. Like it still is a barrier of an elite runner
Sure.
that elite runners want to hit that a barrier that
I still want to. We've talked, right?
absolutely.
I still want to
Man,
fix it.
running sub 4 would I might end my running career right now.
If I get it next spring, if I go all in on the track again and I get that sub 4, I might hang up my track spikes and be on the roads 100% the rest of my life. That would be the cap. Coming up on 10 years since I broke 410. Can you imagine that? And I haven't broken 4.
That'd be a crazy.
That would be a nice
Air marks. But
anyways.
wow, like 6 guys this year is actually blowing my mind now that I'm thinking about it more and more. But like, apparently, it's lost the sparkle. I only was aware of 2, so
Right, right. I didn't realize there was 6. I thought, what'd I say, 4 or something? 3 or 4?
I wasn't aware of any indoor.
Just 1. I feel like I remember that at one of those bigger meets indoors, but and I knew there were a lot of guys close that I'd seen some names for. One of them, Brian Burns, ran 3 or 4 flat point zero somethings or
Yeah, I
thereabouts.
did see a couple flats
Yeah,
for high school.
and he ended up breaking 4, and he and his brother Connor Burns are the only brothers, high school boys to go sub 4, which is fun.
That is an
That's cool.
impressive stat.
Yeah.
Our brothers going sub 4,
Yep.
that's
So
very cool.
crazy, crazy times. What's interesting about that now is these guys, most of them are seniors. They're going to graduate. Most of them are probably going to be starting college in the fall. On that note, they're going to start college. Let's say they start this fall 2026. That means with the brand new NCAA eligibility protocol, they will have 5 academic school years. So starting in fall 2026, the school year is called the 26-27 school year. They will have 5 of those to run 5 seasons of competition, the 5 for 5 rule. Thoughts on that new announcement and what that's gonna mean for the NCAA?
Is this official set in stone?
Everything I've seen, it is. There's probably gonna be all kinds of I'm sure tons of people have lawyered up and are fighting it, and there's gonna be litigation and all kinds of stuff, but it seems to be passed in effect, and it sounds like some NCAA athletes have already received communication because the current athletes can choose if they want to be considered under the new rule, or they can stick with how it previously was, whichever benefits them. So I think it's in effect because athletes are already having discussions. For example, Carter Cutting only has a year left, but if he switches to the new rules, he actually has 2 years left.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know. I thought the current athletes wouldn't be grandfathered in the rule, but
They get a pick, which is best,
that
is what I've seen.
that's an interesting way to go about it, but probably good for the athletes. But 5 years of eligibility, wow.
Yeah.
Or if you get hurt, I guess only 4 or something.
Or
You could
3 or 2.
redshirting doesn't exist anymore?
Nope, you just don't. What's nice about that is I
Man, that's got me thinking now.
yeah,
Like,
I had a season that I started competing and I got injured, like, the 2nd race, but I was too deep into the season where I couldn't redshirt that one. That's fine now. I can just focus on getting healthy, and it doesn't take away from one of my 4 years of
yeah,
competition.
that's got me thinking about my redshirt year, or
Yeah,
I actually got, fairly fit all of a sudden, and
yeah,
then, like,
good.
how would I have helped the team? Because that
You would have been able to race at the regional meet and cross that fall
yeah,
and not
I
lose your
probably
eligibility.
I probably would have been able to help the
Yep,
team a little bit. Aiden Reed, speaking of him, was also redshirting.
yep, he was
He would have
redshirted.
been able to help the team.
I was
Wow.
redshirting. I don't know if how much I'd help the team, but
Like,
yeah,
dang, that's
it would have changed
crazy.
it would have changed the results of that meet for SUU specifically,
Yeah.
probably qualifying us for the
That
national
was
meet.
the 1 year we didn't qualify
Yep,
after a long stretch, and
7
wow.
straight. Yep.
Now that's something interesting to think about.
Yeah. No, it plays into so many different facets of the sport because people look at it initially and they think, "Okay, that means we're not gonna have 25-year-old freshmen anymore." Your clock starts when you enroll in college, that starts your first academic year, or when you turn 19. So, here's a fun thought. If you graduate when you're 17 and you take a gap year, you can have a full year of training and growth and then start your clock without any penalty, without any waiver. You already could do that to an extent, but now that made it a lot easier for younger athletes. And of
Yeah,
course, there's
very interesting.
yeah, still exemptions for military and religious service and women for pregnancy. You can get exemption for those periods of times to not count against your clock.
So, that was my next question. So, both of us went on missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and, uh, obviously a lot of athletes, from Utah do that, a lot of BYU athletes just, seem to do that, and that's been a common complaint among the running community. So, they're still allowed to do that and still have 5 years of eligibility.
Correct. So the oldest an athlete in the NCAA will should be is graduating their senior year at 25.
What about military service?
They still have the exemption. I don't know if it's for a year or 2 years or how that'll work, but they can still do that and then come back and have their 5 years.
Okay.
So what it does is it pauses your clock. For example, sometimes an athlete will do a year of schooling and competing, and then you submit the waiver and your clock pauses right there. So you used 1 year, you go and take the 2 you need or the 1 you need for the approved exemption, and then you come back, and then that next semester, you click play on your clock, and it starts winding down again.
Okay.
I think there's still some complaints and arguments I've seen online that they're saying it's still so unfair for the religious exemption. Anyone can claim that if they have a church or a religion that signs and says, "Hey, they need to take a year of service." I saw somebody suggest go down to the Andes Mountains, and do some humanitarian service and train at altitude and learn Spanish for a year or 2. Nobody's the Catholic Church will probably sign off on that and let you get that exemption. It's still not an advantage. That's why more athletes don't use it to their advantage. Um, so I think it keeps things very clean. Um,
Yeah, it's a sacrifice when
yeah,
people are going
I gained
serving in the
pounds.
military
Yep.
or serving on religious missions. It's a sacrifice, and you're sacrificing your running career. Most high school athletes are not gonna be like, "Wow, how can I maximize my college potential by postponing it?" So
Right. Correct. But if they wanted to, they could. If
exactly.
they thought it was that much of an advantage. I overall am feeling excited about these roles. Um, I think it's gonna do a really good job cleaning up a lot of confusion. It's really cut and dry. You have 5 years. You can do anything you want during those 5 years, and once those 5 years are up, you're gone. That's essentially the
Crazy that crazy because generally a college degree takes 4 years, and then the extra 5 will help some people pay for master's degrees, but, like, just how it's already been, but a lot of athletes also choose to just do the 4 years because that's how long it takes them to get their degree, so
Yep.
interesting take, they decided to go with the 5 years, but
I think you
I don't think it's not that interesting, but yeah,
no,
absolutely.
but it is. They could have just done 4 years, 4 seasons, but I think they wanted to consider it's typical for an athlete to be injured, to super senior, to start a master's program, postgraduate program. So I think it just made sense. And 6 would just be too long. If it was 6, you and I would be thinking about trying to go. No, I'm kidding. We're more removed than that now, but it, I think it's the right call. I actually think it's a logical decision and one of the first the NCAA's made in quite some time. So I'm excited to see the rollout for it and see kind of how the current group of athletes choose to utilize their remaining eligibility. It'll be quite an interesting thing to see.
Yeah,
So, and
good good stuff.
it'll limit a lot of what it's going to do is limit a lot of the concern is older freshmen. Those are gone. Essentially, if you graduate high school and take 2 years, which is the recommended the amount for a religious exemption, that means you're starting at age 20. That's the oldest you're gonna be able to start. We were both 20 when we started. That's the oldest you're gonna be able to start. Maybe like a young 21, but, starting after a few years in the professional circuit, for example, in basketball, there's some men that came back and decided to finish their eligibility because they had it after being drafted, I believe, and it didn't work out in the NBA. So they
The
re
D-League though, right?
I believe it wasn't a full yeah, because they weren't quite good enough to make it all the way into the league. So they went back to college to get some more development. Can't do that anymore. Their clocks would have run out by then. Um, so I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna clean up a lot of stuff. Well, let's see what else we wanna talk about today.
Well, honestly, we can begin to wrap up today and, uh, just looking forward to the upcoming weeks of training. Uh, Obviously, there's some bigger professional diamond leagues coming up, but nothing coming up this week on our schedule except Western
Western
States
States, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
that we're gonna be following, watching Coleman pace Hayden Hawks, some Cedar City locals. So we're excited about that. But um,
Good luck to Aiden.
good luck to Hayden.
Go get that course record and the win.
That'd be
Amazing.
awesome. I think it's loaded up. I think Jim Walmsley,
Yeah.
Killian, all the big dogs are
Darn it.
out
Yep.
there. So
It's gonna be fun. I'm
Western
excited to
States
watch.
this weekend. Is there anything other races this weekend
Uh,
that we need to follow or check in on?
Nothing. We'll see if there's any. I think there's a Paris Diamond League or something like that.
Oh yes, Paris Diamond League
So we'll
is
just
Sunday, but
yeah.
I'm not. I don't know who's on the start list. So
No, if there's anything fun, we'll be talking about it next week if anybody does anything, but um that's kind of it. I was gonna do another half marathon in Beaver Canyon here in Utah, but it was canceled yesterday because it's on fire. So again, our thoughts with those are affected. But I won't be racing, which would be good opportunities to train through that. So um yeah, I think that's kind of all we've got for us today. Any final parting words of wisdom that you can Share with the viewers what's the most important thing they can do tomorrow to be a faster runner.
Go to bed early.
Oh, wow. That's 2 weeks in a row. Sleep's important. So what do you say we go to sleep? Because we got an early morning and you got a long workout when we wrap it up here.
Let's wrap it up here.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.